Hi everybody, it's Lisa. I'm at the end of week 26 of my pregnancy, and little Nicole has been just adorable. We had an appointment on Thursday and we got to see her beautiful little face on the 3D yet again. And I'm just so excited because she just looks like a real person now. She looks like just a pretty little baby. So I'm in love already. While at that appointment on Thursday, the doctor informed me that my levels for the glucose test came back really high, and he would like to start me on treatment, which is not medication. We're not at that stage yet, and hopefully not. So I've been diagnosed with gestational diabetes, and what that is, my sugar is not being converted to energy. So what I need to do is have a strict meal plan, including starches, dairy, and meat, as well as vegetables and fruit in one meal. Everything all in one meal. Eat my meals at the same times every day. Eat 6 small meals every day. Test my blood after each meal, each major meal. So I test it 5 times a day. Before bedtime, as soon as I wake up, an hour after breakfast, an hour after lunch, and an hour after dinner. And then I get snacks after each meal, and I time it every hour and a half after each meal. So I'm pretty much eating every 2.5, 3 hours. The way the glucose works is you go in, they give you this 12-ounce fluid orange stuff. I got to choose the orange one. And you sit there for an hour after you drink it, and then they test your blood to find out what your levels are, if you've digested the sugar, if it's converted to energy. Mine was fairly high, so we didn't have to do the 3-hour test, which is the second stage of the glucose test, because it was so high. And I kind of knew that there was going to be a situation because I had mentioned in my previous video that I was really tired on Sunday, and that wasn't the first time. That's been the norm. And then I fell asleep in the waiting room while I was doing the glucose test. I could not figure out why I was so tired. I started making excuses for myself, but the truth is that there's a slight problem, which is, now we know, gestational diabetes, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that I maintain that, because the major side effect of this is, if it is not treated or controlled, is that the sugar is going to go right to the baby's pancreas, and the baby is going to be larger than normal. It'll just be an overweight baby, and I might have trouble bringing the baby in through natural birth. And C-section is not something that I'm looking forward to, because I'd like to just bounce right back. I'd like to do it naturally. Another problem could be the sugar in my blood will create a lack of oxygen for the baby. This is what happens later in the pregnancies if the gestational diabetes isn't kept under control. So I'm going to do my best to try and eat so much better than I already have. So I thought I was eating very healthy, but one of the things I did learn that I didn't know before Thursday was that you can't mix your fruits and your dairy in the same meal because it's just too much sugar. My fruit intake only through juice. He's like, no juices at all. Make all of your fruit intake, your juice intake, through natural fruits. So my orange juice is now eating a fresh orange, which, by the way, she loves. I cannot eat any sweets because it just has too much sugar. The doctor's just not even giving me an option on that. Nothing in moderation. I was like, oh, can I have candy, chocolate in moderation? No, it's out of the picture. So I can deal. One of our friends gave me socks for diabetics. I had no idea they existed. I had complained that my feet were swollen before I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, and she went and she got me socks, and I was so excited because I haven't been able to wear any of my socks, and I thought about cutting them as she suggested earlier, but I don't have to anymore. We went for a really long car ride this weekend to visit George's family, and it was really hard on me Normally I'm super cool, you know, all we need to do is stop for meals or rest stops to go to the ladies' room, but this time I had to stop almost every hour, no lie, because I wanted to do stretches, I needed to get my legs moving, and I felt tightness everywhere. It wasn't a contraction because it wasn't, you know, something that fluctuated. It was just tightness when I breathed. And I think it was because I was just sitting so long that the blood wasn't circulating and my legs were getting cold because the blood wasn't circulating. So every hour we stopped, and I did my yoga exercises wherever we were. I just tried to do my best to make this a bearable ride both ways. It was 8 hours each way, and it was really long, and I can't say I would want to do this again. It just wasn't enjoyable. The trip there, when we got there, was enjoyable. George tried to make it as comfortable as possible for me, but I mean, how comfortable can you be when you're just limited in your movements and you've got this baby who's kicking you and saying, "Hey mommy, why aren't you swinging me?" You know, because all day at work I'm moving around and keeping active, and for this car ride we were just sitting there. She was really good though. She didn't kick me too much, but I was happy when she did. And when she doesn't kick me, I ask her to. I say, "Hey Nicole, kick mommy," and if she doesn't kick me, I'll sing to her. She really is responsive in the morning. She's been waking up to the alarm clock. She hears the alarm clock and then she starts waking me up, and she's like, "Hey mommy, it's time to get up." And of course now I have another alarm clock. I had mentioned earlier that oranges are her favorite thing right now. Oh, she's got a few favorites. Daddy is one of her favorites. Whenever he reads to her, she's responsive. She starts kicking. He's currently reading Charlotte's Web to her. He's loving every minute of this experience as well. He's been telling her stories. He's been telling her how much he loves her and what he, you know, what his daydreams are about her. And I think it's just so sweet. It is really just darling. Well, it's tummy time, and I'd like to show you her progress and growth. She is positioned where just today I could feel her feet right in this area, and I think for most of the weekend she was positioned facing inward because I would feel her resting right around here, and I would feel her kicking and it would vibrate inside. I asked her if she was sitting on my bladder because I had to go so often, but of course I can't tell. I don't know if it was something that I was drinking. So she's doing really well. She weighs 1 pound, 12 ounces right now. She's a big girl. She's measuring perfectly in her stage right now where she is, which is when we saw her on Thursday, she was 25 weeks and 3 days. Of course that means week 26 because she has lived a full 25 weeks, and in the 26th week it had been 3 days. So today is the last day of week 26, which tomorrow she will start week 27. And I think she really, really enjoys, once again, oranges, mommy singing ABCs, daddy joins in. She enjoys waking up in the morning with mommy to the alarm clock. I try to ignore the alarm clock, but Nicole won't let me. And we're planning her nursery. We have not emptied out her room yet. We recently moved to a nicer apartment, and all of our boxes are in her room, yet to be unpacked. But they will be, because she's going to have the room to herself. We've given up our office space. Alright everybody, this concludes the video, and I hope to talk to you once again next week. Have a great day.